Governors in the 6 North Central states on Tuesday lamented the attacks and killings in Plateau State by gunmen, calling on the federal government to do everything possible to get to its roots and find a permanent solution. The chairman of the North Central Governors Forum and governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, said the Plateau killings should not be tagged header-farmer clashes, as what is happening in Plateau is similar to what happened in Rwanda. The 1994 Rwanda genocide led to the killing of about 800,000 members of the Tutsi minority ethnic group. The NCGF chairman on Tuesday led his colleagues on a condolence visit to the governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, in Jos, during which they donated 100 million naira to the victims of the Christmas Eve attack. He was accompanied by governors of Niger and Benue states, Mohamed Bago and Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia. Mutfwang, in his remarks, thanked the governors for their concern over the situation in Plateau, noting that the people of the state were desirous of unity and progress. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization on Tuesday donated trauma kits to the Plateau State government to provide succor for victims of the Christmas Eve attacks. The WHO coordinator in Plateau State, Musa Mahdi, who presented the kits in Jos, said the gesture was in line with the organization's mandate to support the government in addressing humanitarian crisis. Mahdi said the trauma kits have over 60 pieces of equipment in each of them that can be used to conduct over 200 procedures and attend to over 100 persons with severe injuries. He said they are presenting these to the Plateau State government to enable it to respond and provide immediate remedy to all health emergencies. The state's commissioner for health, Dr. Cletus Shekuk, who received the items, thanked WHO for the gesture and promised the items would be put to good use. And suspected Boko Haram terrorists in military uniform have killed 12 persons and abducted one in Gatamawa and Shia communities in the Chibok local government area of Borno State. The State Police Public Relations Officer at Borno State Command, Nahum Daso Kenneth, who confirmed the attack, said 12 corpses were recovered. He said the gunmen shot sporadically at the people in the two communities, and also 12 corpses were recovered and 2 were injured. Kenneth said the police commissioner and other security heads had ordered a discreet investigation into the matter to bring the perpetrators to book. Terrorists were reported to have stormed the community of Gatamawa around 5 p.m. on Monday, New Year's Day. Sad one there. Now, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has said efforts are ongoing to secure the release of the leader of the separatist indigenous people of Biafra, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu has been in detention at the Department of State Services since 2021, following his arrest in Kenya and repatriation to Nigeria. The Supreme Court on December 15th okayed his trial on the charges of terrorism filed against him by the federal government. His trouble began in 2015 when the federal government arrested him and arraigned him alongside 4 others on 11 counts bordering on terrorism, treasonable felony, managing an unlawful society, publication of defamatory matter, illegal possession of firearms, and improper importation of goods, among others. A few months after he was granted bail on health grounds, Kanu fled Nigeria in September 2017 after the military invaded his family's home in Afaruku near Umuahia, Abia State. Speaking virtually on the Southeast Political Roundtable, a current affairs program in Umuahia on Tuesday, Carlos said that talks were ongoing to free Kanu. A statement issued by his Chief Press Secretary, Levinus Wabogo, on Tuesday quoted Carlo as advising Southeast youth to stop forthwith the sit-at-home directive of IPOB, noting that it was scaring many investors away from the region. Now, the federal government has banned 18 foreign universities operating in Nigeria, describing them as degree mills, warning Nigerians to avoid enrolling in such institutions. The directive affected 5 universities from the United States, 6 from the United Kingdom, and 3 Ghanaian tertiary institutions. The Federal Ministry of Education, also on Tuesday announced the temporary suspension of Evaluation and Accreditation of Degree Certificates from the Republic of Benin and Togo. Announcing the ban in a statement published on its website, the National Universities Commission explained that the federal government had not licensed the affected universities and they had been closed down. The decision was sequel to an undercover investigative report by Umar Audu, who bagged a degree from the institution within 6 weeks and also participated in the mandatory one-year scheme organized by the National Youth Service Corps. However, the National Association of Nigerian Students has appealed to the federal government to reconsider the suspension of accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo. The students' body maintained that the government needed to consider the impact of this decision on legitimate students who have pursued their education in the affected countries. NANS, in a statement by its Senate President Akinteye Babatunde, lamented that the suspension had affected numerous students who are duly registered and have invested significant time and resources in their education. Babatunde noted that the affected students now find themselves in a state of uncertainty, facing potential delays in their academic and professional pursuits. The NANS Senate President also argued that the suspension could strain diplomatic and educational relations and impact the opportunities available to Nigerian students in the neighboring countries. And as the 2024 year begins, Nigerians, clerics, and other stakeholders are asking the Nigerian government to engage more in youth development through employment and policies. Your state correspondent monitored 2024 crossover nights within the Ibadan metropolis and filed in this report.
They should have focus and they should not forget the promises and they have made, because they have agenda that they have read and both of us had and run every company. They are putting up every day because the power is the problem they are having. So let government focus that. Two, they should look for how they can empower the youth. So if they can do this, we are going to live a better life like advanced countries.
You have to obey the people in government. You have to hearken to their voice. After God is government. So when you hearken to the voice of God, you have to abide with the rule and regulation of the government. And that will curb corruption in this country, because corruption is our problem in this country. But we have to submit and subject ourselves to the rule of law in this dispensation, and it shall be well with us.
Nigerians are very hopeful that government will do something. My advice to our government is that they should research the economic policy. They should note one thing: all suggestions and advice from IMF and World Bank will lead into more economic crisis. That we should domesticate our economy and diversify the economy.
It is required of the steward to be faithful. What is killing our country is no commitment, no dedication to the service that we render to our nation. And we want things to work. You know, the government can only say, give order, do this. There are people that are sabotaging their effort.
My resolution towards this year is me becoming a better version of myself and improving on myself personally, individually, and the most important thing towards God.
I want to focus on my business. I'm focusing on my business, and I want to expand. We are expecting a lot from the government, and for this year, we youth corps, we also want the government to increase, if we can get the increase, because everything is getting more costly now.
The New Year resolution is that my ideas for the new year becomes reality. I want to strive to actualize my dream for this year by the grace of God.